That's the sound of a $1.75 million cheer, coming just moments after court was adjourned. Akira Montague embraced her attorney, Robonetta Jones, as dozens of supporters yelled from the sidelines. Akira Montague's lawsuit, filed in Durham County Court, accuses Brene Montague, an influencer with nearly 3 million followers on TikTok, of seducing and having an affair with her then-husband, Tim. That affair then turning to marriage when Brene and Tim wed. In the suit, Akira Montague claimed Brene used her online influence as a weapon. The affair also caused damage to her health and deprived her kids of a two-parent household.
And it was nothing but lies.
Brene Montague, who represented herself in court, slammed the verdict, saying Akira Montague knew her marriage was over and allowed the affair.
She gave her consent. She said it was okay because she knew her marriage was over with and it was done.
Whew. Welcome to Hardly Initiated. It is your host, Tyshawn Jackson, in the building with my co-host, Ryan Catchings.
What's pop? It's crazy because we're back on another Wednesday, 7 p.m. I think we was 7 p.m., maybe a couple minutes late. Are we getting better, y'all? Let us know we're getting better. But let me tell you what is going to be excellent tonight, and that's this show, because we got a very special guest and a very special case. Because if you guys seen that clip, and we're going to run it one more time for people to just get in, there was a huge groundbreaking case and award that was just granted to the young lady that you seen, Akira Montague, just recently. And we actually have the expert legal counsel joining us tonight. We're going to talk about that in a second. But Tyshawn, you got something to share as well.
Absolutely. So everybody, if you're ready, go ahead, drop ready in the chat right now as we go ahead and get to it. All right, all super chats tonight, y'all. If you go ahead and put them here, we'll read it out on the show. No questions for tonight, but we'll make sure we read all super chats out. All right, and just so y'all know, before we get into the show, my creators, I know some of y'all frustrated. You're putting your videos out, it ain't getting the motion. Posting inconsistently, content not converting. Well, guess what, y'all? Your boys is out here guiding you. Me and Ryan, we know exactly how that feels. That's why we open our hardly initiated YouTube Growth Accelerator. All right? This is literally going to be a combination of one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching. We only taking a few more applications, as this will be rolling in just through the next few weeks. So make sure you get that in below. If you qualify, we'll reach out to you and hit your line. But it's time to get into the details of this case. That video is really crazy. Did you see how it ended, what she said?
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, who does that? Well, yeah, we're going to run it back in a second.
We're going to run that back.
She said she got permission, right?
She got permission.
Yeah, I'm like, who's doing that? But, you know, it's two sides to every story, but we're going to get into it today. Before we get started, I did want to break down, some details. And like I said, we're going to run that back again for you guys to get the full scope and context of what's going on. And so this is a Durham County. This is Durham County, North Carolina. A jury awarded $1.75 million to Akira Montague after she sued TikTok influencer Brene Montague, because she's now the wife. If I'm not mistaken, we'll get clarity on that.
Okay.
For alienation of affection and criminal conversation. That's criminal conversation. We got to find out what that is, too.
Yeah.
Okay, the case relied on North Carolina's alienation of affection law, which is rare because only a few states allowed it, which I'm sure contributed to the virality of the case. And just to give you the scope, Akira was actually seeking $3.5 million in damages. So this was actually, even huger than the 1.75, right? Brene Kennard is the TikTok influencer. She has over 3 million followers on TikTok, about close to 300,000 on Instagram. And the ex-husband, Akira's ex-husband, Tim Montague, was actually Brene Kennard's manager, which, of course, adds to the complexity of the relationship dynamics, okay? And this is another thing. I think this was, we got to get some detail on this, too, if this was also presented in court. But Brene Kennard was also married to Tim's first cousin. So this is like a whole family affair type of situation. But pretty much the lawsuit alleged that Tim and Brene were romantically involved while Tim was still married to Akira.
Okay.
And the relationship was not only like privately at their home, but also publicly via the social media content.
Okay.
And so this case is full of, jam-packed. It says 700 pieces of evidence, which comes in form of text, videos, and posts. And at the end of the day, the jury ultimately decided to award Akira the money for this. So yeah, that's my due diligence. But the thing is, we got somebody much more qualified than me to break this down.
Absolutely, y'all. Listen, we have the managing attorney of the law offices of Robonetta B. Jones out in Raleigh, North Carolina. She was selected as one of the top 40 under 40 for black attorneys in North Carolina, and recently led a major jury verdict, the third highest recorded in the state of this kind. And today she's here on Harley Initiated. Everybody drop what's up to Robonetta Jones here on Harley Initiated. Welcome to the platform.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for having me.
Oh yeah,
you did a great take of the case. For you not to be an attorney, you did a great job.
Okay, good. Little research.
Yeah,
research goes a long way. You did a great job.
and listen, the research continues here because I want you. He threw out some facts, and you got to help us because attorneys be bad at this. You got to talk to us like we never heard law ever in our lives. All right, talk to us like regular people. Could you explain this case in a way that we can understand this on a high level?
Well, you want me to explain it so that everyone can understand it.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So what you have is a claim for alienation of affection. So what that means is that there was a third party that interfered with your marriage. And as a result of the interference, you're no longer married to that person or you're separated from that person. So that third party interfered so much that you lost the love and affection of your spouse. That's essentially what it is.
So that third party interfered that you lost the affection of your spouse. And you have to prove in court that affection was lost through this third party.
Absolutely.
Now I see why it's 700 pieces of evidence.
Right. And it's literally, right. It's literally, that's stole your man.
Yes.
That's literally what that is.
You have to think about it. Once someone starts sleeping with another person, then they may or may not start sleeping with their spouse or keep sleeping with their spouse. You never know. So that means that affection that you once shared with your spouse is no longer there. The third party has it. That's the third party is who they're sleeping with, kissing, going on vacations with, spending money on. So this is a very important law in the state of North Carolina.
And now there was also criminal conversation.
Right.
So break down criminal conversation for us.
Okay, for people that's not attorneys, criminal conversation is simply having sex with someone's spouse.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of people having criminal conversations out there.
That's all it is. A lot of people think it's like criminal charges. No, it's criminal conversation because in our great state of North Carolina, they believe in protecting the sanctity of marriage. So when they sleep with a third party, guess what? That third party can be sued. But a lot of people don't know or think just because you sue the third party means you can't sue your spouse as well. You can do both at the same time.
I need everybody to lean into this conversation here because just know it's going to be a lot of game given in this conversation. We got 300 people in the chat. The chat is growing, 330 people. Did you want to run that video before we went into it one time?
I want to run it again. So because we just got, the legal understanding of what happened. I want to run the video so they can really see.
It's going to hit a little different this time.
I would agree. Yeah.
Let's go ahead. Run that video back one more time, Robonetta. Be patient with us.
That's the sound of a $1.75 million cheer coming just moments after court was adjourned. Akira Montague embraced her attorney, Robonetta Jones, as dozens of supporters yelled from the sidelines. Akira Montague's lawsuit, filed in Durham County Court, accuses Brene Montague, an influencer with nearly 3 million followers on TikTok, of seducing and having an affair with her then husband, Tim. That affair then turning to marriage when Brene and Tim wed. In the suit, Akira Montague claimed Brene used her online influence as a weapon. The affair also caused damage to her health and deprived her kids of a two-parent household.
And it was nothing but lies.
Brene Montague, who represented herself in court, slammed the verdict, saying Akira Montague knew her marriage was over and allowed the affair.
She gave her consent. She said it was okay because she knew her marriage was over with and it was done.
There you have it. For all the people familiar with this case, drop me in the chat because
Yep.
this was one of the biggest cases in social media history. So I know a lot of people heard of it, which is why we're bringing it to Harlan Initiated. You asked us to do it, and we're doing it in the most qualified way with attorney Robonetta here. And I want to get right into it because some of her time is limited tonight. I'm gonna put that press on attorney Robonetta tonight to get as long as we can because this sister is busy right now. But let's go ahead and jump straight into it.
Well, because I want to find out, of course, Robonetta, how you got involved in the case. But real quick, I just want to let the audience know I dropped the link to the law offices of Robonetta Jones inside the chat. You can also find it in the description because we literally got people saying, "I need you, Robonetta." So I went ahead and dropped that.
Lord
but
have
I'm
mercy.
gonna ask maybe it's not so obvious to me because I'm kind of confused. You had a whole crowd of people celebrating after the judgment. Who were those people?
So that was people that just interested in the case. So what happened was after we filed in the state of North Carolina, the paperwork hit the internet. And so the Miss Kennard, she went online and talked about the case and just talked about everything for a year and a half, where my client was instructed to remain silent. And so it just increased in people wanting to know more about it and public interest. So people actually ended up showing up to the case and reporting. And they would go on breaks and report, and they would say everything that was said in a courtroom. And it was a lot of public interest in this case, more than I thought.
That's incredible.
Well, first off, where she messed up, because I heard it in the other one, she was really representing herself already. We had enough attorneys on here to know.
That's never a good idea.
That's a no. You better get you a attorney Robonetta.
Right.
On your team.
So understood. It went.
Well, it's only one me, but yes, I would recommend getting an attorney at any time.
Understood. And guys, listen, I want you to know by the end of this episode, we really want you to understand the warning signs that a relationship is at risk, okay? And the practical steps to protect yourself. And so, Robonetta, start us here. How did you initially get involved in the case?
Well, my client came and had a consultation, and she decided that she wanted to hire me. So I'm well versed in family law and making sure that my clients receive the results that they want. And I felt her pain, and I wanted to make sure that I was able to represent her. And here we are.
Understood. And I know it that some of these questions may be a little tricky for you, as you still are representing Miss Akira. But is it possible for you to take us back in any way to that first call and kind of let us know what that first call was like with her?
Well, I would say it's just with any of my clients, when someone comes to you in family law, and especially alienation of affection or criminal conversation, someone is hurting. And it's my job to see how I can help. And that's what I did.
So what was I'm sorry, go ahead.
So with alienation of affection, you have to see, do you want the truth out, or, what exactly do you want? And most people want the truth. And for someone to be hurt and the third party to continuously post with the husband and attempt to humiliate, embarrass her, then of course, that person wants to take some type of action.
And when you consider this, because I want people to kind of get a picture of the backstory of their relationship. How long were they married at this point where you get a call?
Well, at the point that I got a call, I believe they were married about over, I'm going to say 3.5 years, just off the top of my head.
Okay. And was it
2 to 3 years?
Was it any level of detail around when things started to, when she really started to see things change in the relationship?
Well, whenever you feel that a person's love and affection is pulling away from you and feel like it's going somewhere else, then of course, any wife or husband will try to figure out when exactly and where it's going.
Now you got one side of things where you like you mentioned, Brene Kennard, she's online, she's sharing, different things, what's happening, flaunting in this way, flexing in this way, this relationship she's in. But then you got, like you said, your client, Mr. Kier was advised, hey, let's just, keep this private. And so, from that regard, when you have to keep something like that so private, could you share with us, what you saw in terms of what her emotional and mental state was while all this was going on?
Well, I would say that at the point where someone is being bullied online and they're not able to speak their truth, I believe it could be hard for anyone. But you have to know, and I believe in God, that you have to believe in peace be still. And so at some point, you have to know that your truth will come out. And I always advise my client, just hold on, your truth will come out, and I will make sure that it came out. And that's what it did. It was so many people reporting that everything that was going on in the trial and her side of the story, because during a year and a half that this has been going on, my client never said anything about the actual lawsuit.
Okay. And I'm curious about this too, because I know from having the few divorce attorneys we've had, you guys deal with, and I was telling you before we got on the show, y'all probably see, more couples than some therapists. And y'all see marriages in all types of shape. And infidelity, y'all see all the time. Have you noticed there to be some patterns in these marriages when infidelity kicks in? Is it common things that they call and communicate about in these consultations that they're seeing happen that are consistent in conversation?
Well, I would say majority of the time, people think that infidelity is the biggest cause of divorce, but I would say in general, it's also finances as well. People not being truthful about the finances and what's going on and hiding money, because that's very important as well to marriage. Also, when it comes to infidelity, I would say changing the passcodes, not being truthful about the location, the one that's very important, not coming home when you're supposed to. That triggers red flags and people's antennas, and they want to figure out where that partner is.
Got it. And I guess at the point you got this call, were all of those things present in this current relationship?
No, not at this point.
Finances. Did finances also play a part in this relationship here? Was that one of the issues?
Well, a lot of marriages have financial issues and infidelity. And when you are married and you do not have money, it is hard to maintain that marriage.
That's facts. That's 100% facts.
This is I'm just something I'm very curious about, the award amount. That the 1.75 million. How do you even know that that's an amount that you can go after?
And actually, you went after 3.5, wasn't it?
Right.
So what happens is you make a decision on how much you believe that a person is worth, or you're able to sue them from, and then you go ahead and make that decision to file a complaint.
See, now that's interesting, because I'm sure you personally as an attorney wouldn't even take on certain cases unless you believe that this person is worth a certain amount of money, correct?
Yes, because alienation of affection cases, I tell people all the time, they are very expensive in attorney fees, and you have to believe that they are worth it. You either, want someone to take accountability, or you believe that they have money.
So what did you see? What did you see, and how can somebody else in this situation, what might they need to look for to see if the mistress or the third party that might be interfering with their marriage could be somebody that can qualify for a case like this?
Well, that's something you can consider: a person's assets, house, car, how much money you think they make, because you really don't know until you do the discovery process, and then you figure out how much a person makes. But if you believe that they have some money or they're well off, then you can do what is called discovery as attorneys.
Renee getting that check.
Right. You just got to pull in front of the crib and just start taking notes. See what they got going over there.
Oh wait, that's that GLE.
Right.
Okay, I see what's going on. Okay, so it's the discovery process. Is it like, how deep does that process get? Is it, because I know we laughing about that, but is it just pulling up some things on the computer, or does it really even get to putting boots on the ground, really looking at a person's real life to really see how they living, to also be a part of how we confirm this person's net worth?
The boots on the ground. You have to ask questions, and I would subpoenas, interrogatories. Interrogatories are like questions that a person has to answer, and they have 30 days to respond. So that's what you can do if you are initiating the discovery process.
Wow. Okay, so because you got me thinking now, I'm thinking about the 700 pieces of evidence. So I would imagine, this is
Everyone always brings that up.
yeah, and so I'm assuming it's probably a lot of, well, what did this compose? I just assume a lot of text threads because there's a bunch of text that can be sent. So when it says 700 pieces of evidence, like what is a piece of evidence in this case?
So when you're doing alienation of affection cases, it could be photos, text messages, videos, anything that can prove that there was love and affection in the marriage.
Okay.
And all that.
Now that makes sense, but now this got me thinking because, if you compiling that much information, listen, I haven't always lived a faithful lifestyle. But, when you get caught doing something, it may be 2, 3, 10 pieces of evidence, So 700, right? Wouldn't you have to continue to I guess, watch this person continue to do the wrong thing to be able to collect that much evidence?
No, because remember, we're talking about love and affection in the marriage. That was between the spouses.
So I guess like like
text between husband and wife.
So each screenshot, 1.
Yeah, like 2, screenshots, 3. Not with the third party.
Oh, wow.
So when I say photos, I'm not saying photos with the third party until they come in later. But remember, the first prong is called a prong for lawyers is genuine love and affection. You have to show. So that's why I said photos. It can be kissing, hugging, on cruises together, or going to Disney, things like that. That shows love and affection.
What was the most
that's what I meant by that.
What was the most pivotal piece of evidence that you feel like you had of the 700? What was the most pivotal piece that you feel like had a big impact on the verdict of this case?
To be transparent, y'all might not like this answer, all of it. Because all of it can prove every single thing that I needed.
Damn.
It's so crazy.
She's very brief and brilliant with these answers.
Hear how these cases are rare. Most people settle or they don't go to trial. And for it to go to trial, I had to make sure that I was able to prove every element of alienation of affection in criminal conversation.
And
every little bit helped.
And I just want to make sure. So proving it, the alienation, you could, this hypothetical, I could say something disrespectful to my woman about, let's say, not caring about her in a text thread, and that could be used as proof of the alienation.
I would say maybe hypothetically, but I wouldn't use that.
She said that's weak. Evidence.
Yeah, I wouldn't use that.
I just want to get
for example, I'm not wishing this on you. You decided to be with another woman, and now your wife is not getting that love and affection. So if you are with the other woman going on dates, you're taking her out to eat, go on vacation, that proves that the love and affection has now been severed. And if you ultimately leave for that person, the bonds of matrimony are gone once you divorce them.
So see, because this is the whole concept is not just that my partner cheated, it's that this person is the reason that my partner no longer has love and affection for me.
Right.
So this
one
of the reasons. So you have to go even beyond proving that there was just this moment or slip up of infidelity and this person eventually left me, or was one of the reasons this person left me. And just to be clear for the audience, the current relationship status of those two, because just so we can be clear, guys, he cheated. They were actually friends at one point. Was it friends or cousins, by the way?
If I'm not mistaken, they were, let's be specific.
The two ladies.
Akira and Brene were friends.
They were just
Akira
friends.
and Brene
Are they
friends.
currently still having a relationship? Her ex-husband and Brene, do they still have a relationship?
They're married, correct?
They're married.
Yeah, Brene and Tim are currently married.
And the reason I'm progressing to that, if they were not married, if their relationship did not progress to marriage, would this have been a weaker case, or the fact that they were married actually help the case?
Well, I don't believe the case was weak at all, especially since they're now former spouses. So regardless if they were married or not, they're still not together as husband and wife.
Got it. And this is and when she initiated the case, were they married at the time?
Yes.
Okay, so literally during the case starting and ending, a whole divorce and remarriage went down during the case.
Before trial, actually.
That's a lot.
That I mean,
A lot.
that's very bold as well when you think about it.
Very bold.
She immediately says, Brene says, "Hey, you just got out of this divorce. We're getting married." Was that just like more evidence? I mean, it just seemed like that was just.
It seemed like it did make the case stronger.
Right.
It would have seemed like that to me. And also, I think that would probably also just generally add to the level of embarrassment. I would say even. Was that a conversation you had? Wasn't because this to me seems embarrassing because it's one thing to have your business out there that a man has cheated on his wife and now it's in the streets, because that's something you don't even want out in the streets.
Right.
It's another thing for all this to have happened, the cheating, you're with your friend, they're married, and now this being public. Emotionally, I mean, how was this impacting your client?
Well, this is the thing. My client has always said that she's a very private person. And being that all of this was on the internet, and she did not bring it to the internet at all. She did not want anyone discussing the case. And Ms. Kennard brought it on the internet. When it went viral, it was on the internet. And my client was not pleased because she's very private. However, she knew that she had to make sure her story was going to be told, and it was told during trial.
And when Miss Akira, when she came to you at that point, was the relationship absolutely over? And in general, when people come to you regarding divorce, is the relationship pretty much done?
See, I believe that divorce attorneys, well, I call myself a family law attorney, we get a bad rep, but 9 times out of 10, by the time they come to us, the relationship or the marriage is almost over completely.
Oh, man. Y'all hear what's going on in here, y'all. Big shout out, by the way, we got, for the people that's just getting in here, I see the chat still growing. We got attorney Robonetta in here out of Raleigh, North Carolina, who just literally won one of the biggest cases online, where we're breaking down one of the most popular cases on the internet. And is the case active? Because I know there was a verdict that we saw, but do you have some new news for us that you can release? Because is the case still actually ongoing at this point?
Well, I can't talk about ongoing litigation.
Okay.
Well, let's talk about the relationship aspect of it, because I'm curious about this, and we don't have to talk about Miss Akira specifically, but just in situations, because I know you represent both men and women, in situations where the marriage is coming to close or is ending because of infidelity, are there just some common sense, obvious red flags type of things that once because I'm sure you're getting the full story, of the relationship, that you're just thinking like, hey, this is something that I regularly see. These are red flags that I regularly see that people overlook, and then they eventually end up in my office?
Well, like I stated before, when your partner becomes sneaky, hiding the phone, changing passcodes, you're not like, some people share locations if the person turns their location off. And I would say a lot of infidelity happens at work, unfortunately. A coworker that they're around and their work wife or work husband. So when you pay attention to those signs, and also, to be quite frank, anyone with common sense can pay attention to when some changes on them. When that person is not loving you the way that you normally love, not wanting to spend time with you, or becoming more mean towards you, then 9 times out of 10, there's someone else. And they believe they found someone better, but the grass is not always greener on the other side.
Crazy to think about that.
They
is. Just start being mean.
Yeah, we actually had a caller call up just last on Teach the Game Thursday and said that's what's happening in her relationship right now. Robonetta, this is a bit of a personal question, but just you being in this line of work, has it just personally made you cynical, about relationships, and affected how you personally see and view long-term relationships for your own self?
Absolutely not. I mean, I understand that there are issues in people's marriage, but my parents were together 32 years. before my mom passed away. So I know what being loved looked like, how a man is supposed to treat a woman and a woman is supposed to treat a man. I have an amazing sister that's a doctor, and our family, amazing. So I have a father who showed us what love was supposed to be like, and here we are, successful. And I still believe that there is love and true love and soulmates out there, and people should find the right person. What happens is when you don't find the right person, you have to come see me.
And that's what I want to talk about, because realistically, I've even had some friends give me a call for a divorce attorney because they know the line of work I'm in. I have these, great connections. We've had some on the show. Realistically, when should somebody, because I think when you call a divorce attorney, you low-key waging war in some ways. You bringing a third party into your covenant. When should somebody seriously look to contact you in their marriage?
Well, I believe everyone should do what it takes to stay married. If you exhausted all options, then you should come see me. And also, it takes two to make a marriage or a relationship work. And if you are not being met halfway, then yes, come see the law offices of RBJ, because you can't do it by yourself.
That makes sense. What I want to do too, by the way,
I'm doing it now.
If you down, Robonetta, you want to have a little fun? We got some minutes and some time. I would love to open up the phone lines to allow my people to be able to ask some questions while they have your expertise here in the building. By the way,
and they know this cannot be considered legal advice, right, Robonetta?
Okay, yeah, I give out legal advice. I will not get in trouble with the bar.
Okay, yeah.
She talking to y'all as big sis right now.
I'll talk in general or about the state of North Carolina.
And you can just say, you need to call me.
Call me. There it is. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to drop that here. If you got some questions here that you would like to ask Attorney Robonetta, you can go ahead, come backstage. You can be anonymous if you like. You know how we get down. Just come be brief and brilliant. But you ain't got much time because it's going to be a short show here for us tonight as we are covering one of the biggest cases here online.
I'm putting it in right now. Here we go.
All right. Yeah, we dropping it here for you.
600 people in the live chat. Shout out to all the initiates joining us this evening.
So here's what a lot of people might be a bit confused about, because the case itself, how long did it span from start to finish?
It's still ongoing. So maybe a year and a half and 2-3 years. You never know.
That's what I'm confused about, because why did we have a huge celebration and the case is still ongoing?
Well, the case has been decided.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's that legal.
Anybody has a right to file anything. The case has been decided.
Okay.
But anybody in our great country of the United States of America can file anything they want to.
Okay. Got it. As far as payouts, because to me, 1.75 million, that sounds like a lot of money. Is this something that you can really get around? Like, can Brene literally just say, I'm bankrupt and be out of actually fulfilling that judgment? Or is this something that you just can't escape?
Well, I believe it is something you cannot escape when you have me as an attorney. That's what I can say.
Oh,
I like that. So
hold on.
They got to pay up.
First of all, she sounding real gangster right now. I ain't even gonna lie. She sounding real gangster right. But that's how you want your attorneys. We didn't listen. Me and Ryan, I had to do some things with some attorneys, and when your attorneys start talking with their chest,
and they be pissed off.
I like when my attorneys start talking with their chest. Well, he did what to you?
Exactly.
He did what? Like, yeah. Don't even worry. I got you. Yeah. Thank you so much. I love that. All right, big shout out, y'all. By the way, the back of the phone lines is open here. We want you to go ahead and drop your questions in. How, by the way,
the brothers in the chat too right now.
If people want to do some business with you, Robonetta, how do they do so?
So on my website, they can fill out a submission form and it will come to my office manager and she'll see it.
Do you only take divorce cases or you take other cases as well?
I do estate planning as well.
There you go. You can take half the wealth or build wealth.
Exactly.
Hopefully y'all hitting them up for some estate planning, because y'all, we need wills, We need trust. We
Mhm.
need all those things in play. Fun fact, me and Ryan had a wholesaling business where we would literally target people that were in probate court because probate court is ratchet, y'all. Because
Very.
families don't be having their stuff together.
They don't.
And we would call them the people who didn't have wheels and sometimes who even did have wheels. And we would be like, what y'all about to do with this house? Because we want to buy it. And the cousin be fighting the sister, be fighting the grandmama, be
Yep.
fighting the auntie, be fighting everybody
Yep.
over Big Mama house. And the house usually ended up coming to us. So y'all go ahead and take care of y'all assets, family. This is a very big part. Shout out to the estate planning, all right? Now, I'm going to be honest with you, attorney. I don't really think, especially because we took so long to open up the phone lines, because people might be acting a little scared tonight, that we may have somebody join. So what I want you to do, just in case, I want you to talk to the woman that might be in Akira's shoes right now. What game can you put her on if she's currently in this position? What do you tell her?
Which position are you referring to? The beginning or the end?
The very beginning.
So if someone is the position where they believe they have been hurt by a third party and they believe that they can prove that that third party interfered with their marriage, then they need to make sure that they take the proper measures and steps to file an alienation of affection lawsuit or criminal conversation lawsuit as well. If you can have, credit card receipts, hotel receipts that show that he or she was with another person, then you just sit there and weigh your options. At first, I would say, if you believe in a higher power, talk to that higher power and figure out what exactly you want to do and how you want to proceed. And like I tell anyone, man or woman, you're empowering yourself when you take your voice back. When someone has hurt you, you lose your voice. And a lot of people lose themselves. And being able to have your truth come out and fight for what you believe in is very important.
Men don't feel like they have the same power in any family court situation. Men typically feel like they're automatically at a disadvantage when it comes to children, when it comes to divorce. Men typically feel like they're always going to get the lower end of the stick. Do you find that to be generally true, or is that a misconception?
I believe that's a misconception because I represent a lot of fathers and I win them primary, joint custody, all different types of custody, and I help protect their assets as well. So the thing about it is you have to be willing to fight. And that is a stereotype, especially in the African American community, that men cannot receive custody. That's not true. You just have to be willing to fight. And if you are a great father or want to be a great father, then that's what you need to tell the judge. A lot of people associate the courtroom with going to jail, but not family court, well, unless you violate the order. But if you're fighting for custody, of course, then that's your time to assert your rights and say, hey, I'm the father and I want time with my child. And I believe that all children need a father and all children need their mother.
That's a big fact. So brothers, have you, so with the alienation as well, you think that the brothers, they also, because I know you went into the family courts, they still have a chance to be able to, if they are also in this situation, to take part in a case like this?
Yes. This law is for men and women, not just women.
All right, brothers.
Yeah.
All right.
Robin, this reminds me, like, you know how you see these videos and, a woman or a guy catches, that they spouse or girlfriend, boyfriend cheating, but the person that gets beat up is the person that they're cheating with, not them. And so it kind of reminds me of that type of situation. Was there a reason why Tim, the ex-husband of Akira, was not sued, or how, was that strategy not suing him, or was that taken care of in their initial divorce proceeding? Like, why was he left out in this case?
So at the beginning of the podcast, remember I said that you can sue your spouse as well. So anyone can sue their spouse for anything. So for example, if you have child custody issues, child support, that's called suing your spouse. A lot of people don't know that. So even if you sue a third party, you can also initiate a lawsuit against your spouse. Child support, post-separation support, alimony, etc. Everything that encompasses a divorce. But alienation of affection law does not apply to the actual spouse, only the third party.
That makes sense.
So why he ain't get sued?
Because I think if I'm reading in between the lines, you let me know. She going after the big fish.
That's not what I said.
Damn.
You go back and do your research. You need to see husband and wife, husband.
Okay,
Like, you can see
okay.
who's too.
Okay, cool.
That's
cool.
not what I said.
I'm messing with
Wait,
you.
so he-
I'm messing with you.
I literally said you can sue the husband and wife.
So wait, did he also get sued?
Everything is public record.
I'm so confused right now.
So we got to look back.
is
We got to look back at that one.
So you
We gotta
can't
look
tell.
back.
Okay,
Yeah,
I got to
yeah.
look back. Okay, I
We'll
go
look
back.
back at
I go
that one.
back. This here, that attorney talk going crazy right now.
We're gonna have to do a follow up. We got to do a follow up. You know,
Absolutely.
when it's way
So
down.
based on the actual
you did great
public
research,
record.
so you should have just added that case in too.
You know what? You're right though. Now we know.
Oh, multiplication. Okay, so it's really going down right now. You a busy woman. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Well-
I can't speak on anything pertaining to that case. In general, I say that husband and wives can sue each other.
Understood.
And does the suits for husband and wives, does that typically happen post divorce, or do you literally have husbands and wives actively married suing each other?
If you're no longer with the person, then if you take like a child support action, technically that's called suing someone.
I keep forgetting that. That's so normal in our community. And
some people don't understand that. Like when you take out child support custody, that's called suing someone.
I actually did not know that till just this moment.
it makes sense though. The courts is definitely involved.
Right.
So that makes a lot of sense.
Anything.
So, brothers, if y'all done been sued in the chat by your lady, drop sue in the chat right now. I want to see what's going on in the chat right now.
Listen, they not ready for the hotline tonight. It's okay.
Nah, it's all good. We ain't really give y'all much notice, and this is a pop-up Wednesday night. We really just wanted to get this sister on the platform so we can go ahead and get it straight from the horse's mouth on what's been happening, because the internet is talking, but we wanted to go ahead and bring this powerful sister on here as well. And, you know, there's a lot of work that go into these cases. And I'm very, you know, proud of you for going ahead and putting the work in and getting this done. So big shout out to you, Robonetta, for going ahead and getting that win.
And I'm gonna drop and I'm gonna drop the website in the chat one more time. And guys, you can go to the description to get that too. But that's the law offices of Robonetta B. Jones, and that's www.lawofficesofrbj.com. Dropping it in the chat and the description, so y'all know easily where to find that. Because I still see that I need you Robonettas up in here.
There you go. And check it out, y'all. This was a short show today, short live. We just wanted to pop up on here, had this conversation. Tomorrow, Teach the Game Thursdays, we got the sister Dr. Spirit pulling up to, all right, the studio, hardly initiated in person. We ain't had it in person in a while, so that's going to be fun. Get to go ahead and have a good time with Dr. Spirit. Y'all know how we get down. The divorce attorney came up on here tonight, so we're going to go ahead and have some therapy so we can figure out how to not end up in them offices tomorrow. All right. So that's how we're going to do it.
Robonetta, we appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much, Robonetta. Congratulations to you, and wishing you continued success. Y'all already know how to get in touch with this powerful sister. Y'all have any questions, y'all can go ahead and hit her up directly. You can contact her in the description. I want you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel before you go ahead and get up out of here. And let us know what you think about this case in the comments. I really want to know your thoughts about this case. This is a very unique case that's happened in the space, and I want us to know your thoughts. But other than that, y'all already know how we do it.
So long,
hardly initiated.
to you, my
We
friend.
are out.